air, water, earth, fire. The world is currently in an unprecedented time of peace. Avatar Roku, with the help of the air nomads, work tirelessly to ensure balance is maintained between the four nations, but not even the Avatar can be everywhere at once. In the heart of the Fire Nation, a heated storm is brewing. Fire Lord Sozin and his sister Princess Saison vie for political dominance, and with the arrival of Airnun Raishan, tensions are at an all-time high. With the Avatar away, new heroes must rise, or this Cold War could soon turn very hot.
Hey friends, welcome to the Avatar Legends RPG playthrough. I'm your host and game master, Lili Sparx, and I am joined today by 4 amazing characters. So thank you for joining us as we tell their stories together. Let's go around and meet our players and characters.
What's up everybody, I'm Becca Scott, and today I am using the Bold Playbook, and I am Sister Nyanshi of the Eastern Air Temple.
I'm Dante Basco. I'm playing the Hammer character, and I'm playing a character named Ezra, who's a firebender, who's a bit of an outlaw. What happened, he's such this firebender, right? When he got banished when he was young, he actually went to the Earth Kingdom for 10 years. And so his firebending, which you would know, Brother Bowen here, has a lot of earthbending techniques. That's why it's so heavy, where he can knock down walls and do crazy stuff with his firebending, because it's probably just a made-up technique, because he didn't learn from traditional firebenders. He actually had learned a lot of Earth Kingdom techniques in his firebending, which makes it this brand new heavy firebending that we'll see what it can do later on in the adventure.
Sure will.
Yeah, and I'm Ify Nwadiwe. I'm playing Bowen, who's coming from the Earth Kingdom on his own pilgrimage. He has, a ward in tow, because I'm playing from the Guardian playbook. So we have Princess Nyanshi as my ward, who I will protect.
I'm just a sister, but you can call me Princess.
Sister Nyanshi, who's my ward, who I will protect at all costs. So.
I'm Jennie Kwan, and today I am playing from the Rogue playbook. So my background is a little privilege, but now I don't want none of that privilege. I am an outlaw. I do things for myself, and I come from the water tribe, so I know how to work with water. So we'll see what antics we come up with.
So, if you didn't see our character creation episode where these 4 made their characters and did our inciting incident together, session 0 as you were, there's a link in the description below where you can check that out. But to recap, these 4 are playing in the Roku era, and we are in the Fire Nation capital. Big things happening right now, a royal wedding coming up. The air nomads have established the guiding wind principles and philosophy here as well. But these 4 stumbled across some kind of secret plot by Minister Zianda, who we know is the right-hand man of Fire Lord Sozin. So, when we uncovered this plot, we followed some mysterious hooded figures with a secret scroll to a nearby courtyard, where we then distracted the hooded figures and stole the scroll. Unfortunately, before we could find out what was in the scroll, the hooded figures overwhelmed us, caught us in the act. Luckily, Airnun Raishan was there to save the day, and she stepped in and spoke up for us. However, now these hooded figures know of her involvement, and we also have some kind of plot that we need to uncover. As we open today's episode, we will see the pan-over shot of the Fire Nation capital. We see the bustling streets filled with people as people are getting excited for the royal wedding, people going about their daily lives and business. And then we do a slow zoom in into the noble house where they are hosting Airnun Raishan. She has been hired here to, hired maybe is a strong word. She has been invited here by the nobles to come teach their children various things, but they aren't too happy about Raishan's involvement with the 4 of you coming in, burning in the picture of the matriarch of the family and all that. So very, very quickly, as the nobles are coming out and are like, who is this? What's going on? Raishan will be like, I will deal with them. And she is going to escort you to her room, which is a very small room, You're all gonna be stuffed in here together. As we walk into the room, you see her close the door, and she does, and you feel a pulse of air sort of surround all of you in the room. And she says, that should prevent people from listening in. I'm sorry, I haven't properly introduced myself yet. I am the Air Nun Ryoshan, and the four of you seem to have stumbled upon something very interesting. Her eyes linger on you, ZB, as I'm picturing you still clutching that scroll.
Yes, I do have the scroll here. We were trying to figure out who these hooded people were when we were bamboozled into the situation that we are in now.
Yes. I'm afraid that you've all stumbled onto something that I suspect might be quite dangerous. Can I see the scroll?
Oh, you can trust her.
Thank you, sister.
Word of your wisdom is far and wide where I grew up.
Oh, well, I don't like to brag, but
You
the
can
wisdom
brag.
is there.
Okay, yeah.
And your name is?
Oh, me? Sister Nyanchi.
Pleasure to meet you.
I am a big fan of Guiding Wind, and I know that you're friends with the princess, so I don't know if you would just I drew a picture of her, and I passed you a little scrap of paper that it just looks like a stick figure, but with pretty hair.
It is like a very rudimentary drawing, but as she looks at it, you just see a bit of warmth come to her eyes, like a little hint of a smile. But then she just goes, "It's lovely. I will cherish it." May I?
I do
See the
have a
scroll?
question, if that's
Of course.
possible.
Yes.
My question for you is, how close are you with the princess?
Oh well.
Why are your cheeks turning so pink, Nun Ryoshan?
Oh, it is. The room is warm.
We are in the Fire Nation.
Princess Zaysan and I have met on several occasions. She is a remarkable woman, and unfortunately, I am worried that she might be the target of whatever plot is going on here.
I knew there was gonna be a plot.
There's
I knew
always
it. No, this is the deal, what I did not tell you guys earlier. The reason why I was following Minister Zianda, when I was a kid in the Fire Nation, of course we were in special school, right? And I was a gifted fireman at a very young age. However, there was this big fundraiser for the school, and the principal of the school at the time was none other than Minister Zianda before he became a minister. What had happened was there was a big fundraiser from all the royalty and nobles, because we were the kind of like the kids, the lower class kids in the Fire Kingdom that showed special abilities. That program no longer exists. The money that was raised for that program vanished. Of course, I'm one of the ones that got blamed and got banished to the Earth Kingdom for as long as I did. No one checked on the principal of the school at the time, who now happens to years later. The reason why I came back to the Fire Nation is because I knew that this man who became minister, Zianda, and I was waiting for the day to come, and today is that day.
Hear a gentle weeping as you look down. Can I tell you what Nyanchi looks like?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So she is maybe under 5 feet tall, not very big, wearing just obvious airbender garb, but with an earthbender patch on it. And she's got bright purple hair with little short pigtails that spike out. And she is weeping hearing your story.
Does the Earth Kingdom patch say "Save the Earth Sages"?
Yes, very much so. Save the Earth Sages.
Excellent. Air Nun Ryoshan hears this and says, "Minister Zianda, why, he is Fire Lord Sozin's right-hand man. I had no idea that he was involved in this. You're sure it was him?"
I don't know, that's why I need to find out what's on that scroll.
We all look at you with the scroll.
And as I'm standing here, what I'm thinking is, do they know who I am?
What do you
Can I trust these people?
Air Nun Ryoshan, I feel like there's a long look between Air Nun Ryoshan and you. And why don't you give us a brief description of your appearance? What does she see when she looks at you?
So, when you look at me, I have the hints of a traditional water tribe garb. It is dark blue. but it's tattered. And you can tell that I used to have really nice hair, but I've cut it all off. It's jagged. Looks just very messy and matted. But I also have these satchels that I carry with me. And there's certain things in these satchels that I'm really protective over. That I really, the way that the satchels are, they're sewn really tightly. Only I know how to get into them.
Yes.
And I have a pendant that I wear that I keep really close to me. And the way that I've sealed it is, it's almost impossible to take off. You have to be really strong to be able to take it off.
So Ernan Rioshan looks at you. There's a long look.
Right.
And she says, "Forgive me for saying this and for making rash judgments, but you seem like someone who maybe you've been taking care of yourself for a long time. And I see that in you, young one. But these people, especially him, we can protect you. We can help you." And she is trying to push your principle towards friendship, because you are on a balance principle, right? Of your friendship and survival. It sounds like right now, Zebi is a little bit in that survival headset.
Right, and when Nun Rioshan says those things, they're trying their best not to reveal that has even struck them in any particular manner.
So do you think you would accept being pushed towards friendship, or would you try and fight against it?
In this moment, for my own purposes, I'm going to trust
Perfect.
Nun Rioshan. So I very, very reluctantly, but acceptingly, hand over the scroll.
Thank you. And I'm gonna get you on your character sheet. You'll see your balance track there in the middle.
Yes.
You can erase it where it is on the 0, and you're just gonna shift it towards 1, towards friendship.
Great.
She opens the scroll. There's a moment where you just watch her eyes go back and forth as she's reading it, and then she rolls it up again, tucks it away, places it in the middle of the room because she assumes that all of you are gonna wanna read it as well. But she says, "It is as I feared. These are instructions to steal robes from air nomads of the guiding wind. I've heard rumors of different air nomads losing their robes or having them stolen or taken over the past week or so. I am very afraid that there is some kind of plot going on, and with Minister Zianda being a part of it, I worry that perhaps Princess Zaysan might be in danger."
I mean, I've thought of stealing those robes 1,000 times, but I'd never do it.
She blinks at you.
Oh, just because I really admire Guiding Winds, but I know it's against the principle of the Guiding Winds to have stolen them, so I wouldn't do it.
Stealing robes?
Of the air nomads.
I knew he's up to no good.
I pick up the scroll and I give it to Bowen.
So I think this is a good beat. Bowen, this is your ward. This is your young rapscallion that's following you around and you are sworn to protect. And clearly, she is now being embroiled in some kind of plot. So I think now is a great time for you to roll your feature move of your Protector's Burden.
All right.
Because, oh gosh, you're gonna have to do some stuff to keep this girl in line. So you are going to roll 2d6, but first you're gonna answer me some questions. These questions are based on how Bowen sees Sister Nyanshi, not how, your players think. So, question number 1, do you believe that Sister Nyanshi listens to you more often than not?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, you guys have a good teamwork going, so that's a yes.
Yeah.
Have you recently protected her or helped her with a problem?
I'd say so, yeah.
I needed a mission, and you gave me a reason to leave the Eastern Air Temple.
Yeah, so that's 2. Is there an immediate threat to Nyanshi that you are aware of?
Well, I think right now in this moment, I don't like her getting wrapped up in it, but I'm not gonna stand in the way of it and just be there to protect her. So I feel like she's in danger.
Cool. So you are going to roll +3 then.
Okay. All right, that's 9. 5, 8.
We know math. We can do math.
Oh man, that's the one thing I don't like about live play. You see where my math is at.
No, that's perfect. So basically the dice roll system of this game, 6 and under is a miss, 7 to 9 is a conditional success, like pretty good, you do it, but, and then a 10 plus is a full success. So on an 8, with your Protect as Burden, you get to hold 1 point. You can spend that point at any time to basically perfectly protect or defend Nianchi, track her down, even if she's hiding or avoiding you, or figure out what she's up to without her knowing. So you can spend that at any point during the session. And what is it that you said to Bowen as you handed that to him?
Oh, you should read this before I do.
All right, let me go ahead and read this and check it out, see what's on here.
It's kept very sparse. There's nothing on it that would tie back to Minister Zianda. It just says there's a location where some of the Guiding Wind members are going for a group prayer at 2 o'clock or whatever it is, and it says get the robes, make sure no one finds out. Underline, underline. So Ernan Ryoshan, kind of like takes a moment and says, I have met Princess Zaysan several times, as I have said. Unfortunately, due to complications, I cannot be the one to bring her warning of this. I know that tonight she is holding a symposium.
Sorry, why can't you bring her warning? Didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, simply because of I have duties.
A crush when I hear.
I have not said anything about crushing. I have, you see that flush come back to her cheek. Princess Zaysan is, of course, betrothed to another, and as remarkable of a woman as she is, I certainly would not interfere with a betrothal like that.
And I feel like I would want to interrupt right there. I think we should disrupt this with the betrothal. However you say wedding. Azidi.
Well,
you mean there's not going to be a royal wedding?
First and foremost, we must protect Princess Zaysan from threats.
Of course.
Can I grab that scroll and I look at the location? I want to find out the location of where this is going down.
Yeah.
I'm here to expose someone who's wronged me in the past. Cool with your wedding and stuff, you especially. I'm cool with you guys doing the wedding thing, and I don't know what's popping up over here, but let's keep this at hand. There's one person we need to expose, and we need to let the world know what's going on. Where are they doing the stealing? I need to find out this location.
Well, it seems as though this location has now been compromised because you have found out the location. What's more important is where are they taking these robes to, and what are they doing with them? Now, I know Princess Zaysan has a symposium at Haribulkan tonight where she is supposed to speak to some nobles about the principles of the Guiding Wind. I cannot go there myself, but if you four seem like trustworthy people, and she looks at Ezra, and what does she see when she looks at Ezra?
Ezra is totally in for this idea because he's on this path. He's a little bit taken aback because he has his own mission that he wants to accomplish. There's a bigger thing going on. There's one thing that he wants to accomplish right now, and it's really to expose Minister Zianda for who he is. But I'll go along with your mission if it accomplishes my mission, but he's not saying anything. He's just kind of looking at the crew, seeing if we can pull this off.
Would you say that Ezra is on a mission to expose the minister and restore his honor?
To a degree, I would say that, yes.
Perfect. And what does Ezra look like?
Ezra is, he's kind of a cool firebending guy. He's got like the latest kind of clothes on, but it's not brand new. He has this like really cool jacket, but it's kind of all muted colors instead of being bright, like red and maroon and gold. It's kind of, there's like an Earth Kingdom kind of muted color to what he's doing. His clothes look like although they're very nice and very fashionable, it looks like there's been miles upon it. He's like almost like the motorcycle jacket that the guy looks like he's been riding through the desert. Ezra has that kind of thing going on.
Super cool.
He often, not unlike Jet, has like a toothpick in his mouth that he's twiddling with. Often a mischievous look in his eye, but his hair looks like it's not fully kept, it's not slick, it's just like air, there's always wind through his hair, and it looks like he had mild adventures on his sleeves.
Nice. And what does Bowen look like?
Bowen, looks just like he's very obviously from the Earth Nation. He has, very similar to Toph, just like the green with beige kind of, tabard type setup, except he doesn't have any sleeves. You see how muscular he is. It's very clean, well kept, and he has the same patch Sister Nyan has with the, remember the the Earth Seers, remember the Earth Sages, and he's always kind of standing stoically with his arms crossed, kind of taking note of what's going in the room, and has real short hair, very clean cut individual.
So she'll look around, make eye contact with each of you, and she says, I know I just met you in a courtyard 20 minutes ago, but I feel as though if anyone could accomplish this mission, stay out of line of sight of people who might be dangerous, and can you please deliver word to Princess Zaysan or figure out what's going on so that she can be safe?
Do we get to meet her?
Well, I would assume perhaps.
We'll do it.
If we've not already met her before.
Oh.
So my one question is, are they just going to let us walk in? No disrespect to anyone here, but you have one obvious tourist, two obvious tourists.
Two obvious people not from here.
Yeah. One
you.
lady with one person with like matted hair, one street
we don't have the best attire to attend this event.
Yeah, we're sort of a motley crew.
Yes, well,
We need disguises.
perhaps you will be able to find them along the way, yes. And it is a symposium for nobles, but there will be members of the Guiding Wind there, and you do have a sister with you. Here, and she will take a ribbon from her robes, and it's, a very nice, like, tangerine, mango-colored ribbon, and she hands it to you, and she says, they will recognize this if you tell them that I sent you.
It's like a backstage pass.
Did you just
VIP.
smell the ribbon?
I smell it, and then I tuck it into my front pocket, the pocket that's behind the Save the Earth Stages patch.
I think she asks you, did you
Oh, yeah. And I say, no.
Blinks at you again.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Where'd you find this one?
Oh, well, just amongst my travel, and she shared the same passion as I do, for the Earth Sages
blah,
and
blah, blah.
restoring their
I got
glory
it.
as the
Got it.
annals of history. Okay.
Bowen is a very passionate speaker, and it was kind of time for me to do a pilgrimage, but I was like, I don't know where to pilgrimage. And then I just heard you speak, and it all made sense.
Sister, don't lose that.
I would never. I kept it in the most special pocket I have.
Ernan Ryoshan is doing that, like, standing up kind of thing and being like, But at that moment, you hear sort of a ruckus at the door, and she, like, quickly looks at it, and you see her do that motion again, and you feel that gust of wind just sort of, like, close on, and she goes to the door and she opens it, and you see there's some noble, like, pressed up against the side, and they're like, oh, Ernan Ryoshan, we weren't aware that you had guests. And Ernan Ryoshan says, yes, they were just leaving. I apologize if we were too noisy. And they're like, oh, no, we didn't hear anything at all. Go, carry on. And she looks back at you, the rest of you, and she says, be careful.
I would like to use my suspicious mind to see whether or not they heard anything or not.
Perfect. So that'll be a roll with your focus, please.
Aha, that's where the bad rolls were hiding. That's going to be 7.
7. Okay, so a 7 will still hit. So you can, again, hold 1. You can spend this hold 1 for 1 to ask questions while you observe or interact with them, and I must answer honestly since you are questioning this NPC. So your questions are you telling the truth? What are you truly feeling? What do you really want right now? What are you worried about, or what are you about to do?
Okay, so I asked the nobles, like, are you telling the truth? Did you not hear anything?
Yes. So nice thing about this is you were asking me, the player, so you don't have to literally like confront this noble. You're just sort of like watching them, being like, what's up? So you see that this noble is clearly flustered, and they were clearly trying to listen in at the door. The vibe that you get from them right now is that they didn't hear anything, and that's why they're kind of trying to be like, oh, you had guests. Who are these people? But Rhea-Sean is just playing it really cool. But clearly this noble is snooping.
Okay. All right. Looks like we're good.
We're safe?
Yeah, we're safe. Let's get on.
All right. I really liked your guys' place out here. Sorry about the touch up on the wall.
We're just standing in front of the charred painting that we burned to create a distraction in our pilot episode. Rhea-Sean is like, yes, of course. Well, remember that we have been talking about the guiding wind philosophies of letting go of material items and such. Why don't we go and have tea and discuss this? And they're like, you'll be paying for that.
You're welcome for the lesson.
And Rhea-Sean will guide them away from you.
All right, looks like we have a party to attend to.
I think that we need to find something new to wear.
Yeah, so you know that the training hall of Haribul Khan is on the other side of the city. The symposium, as Ernan Rhea-Sean said, is happening tonight. So we are going to bring in a fun little mechanic of the Avatar Legends RPG called the clock. So I am making on this sheet a circle. Now, we are in the first tick of the clock. We have only this much time to get to Haribul Khan and find out the plot and save Princess Zaysan. As we advance through the game, as we maybe mess some things up, as things maybe go awry, this clock will continue ticking, and we have to finish all of this before it is over. So we are in the courtyard. We know that Haribul Khan is on the other side of the city. Raise your hands if you're from this city.
The only one.
Perfect. So, you, Ezra, are probably the most familiar
I know
of
the way.
the routes. Yes. Why don't you go ahead and roll me? One of your backgrounds is you're an urban outlaw. So it would make sense for you to rely on your skills and training to know where Haribul Khan is.
Let's
And
see.
that'll be a roll with focus, please.
Oh, I think I know where it's at. I think I know where it's at. Even my focus is -1.
I mean, you definitely know where it's at, but this is more of a, do you know the best route there?
10.
Wow.
9. Yes, I know the town. I knew the city.
Was that a 10, that's a 9 total?
9.
Okay, so a 9 is almost a full success. Now, one of the things that we can do in this game, because we're only 1 point away from this being a perfect success, is there is a mechanic called the help action. So one of us, probably not the tourists, but somebody who's been around, what you can do, ZB, is you can help get him to a full success. All you have to do is mark 1 fatigue on your sheet, which is like an action point, and describe how you help Ezra find the best route to Haribul Khan.
Okay, so the way that I'm gonna help you get to Haribul Khan, I've already been scoping out the Fire Nation Square. And I've created an escape path for myself,
Okay. And us now.
and now us, since I'm letting you guys in on my plan. And it brings us.
secret anymore.
Sister.
Yeah, I can finish now. And it brings us directly through the square again. That's the only drawback, is that we have to get these costumes on us so people don't see where we're going. But it brings us directly to the
Let's go.
symposium for tonight.
In all honesty, I don't shop a lot over there. That's why it wasn't a full 10. But let's go.
Perfect.
Right.
So, on a full success, you do it. You two are able, between the two of you, to figure out the most direct route to Haribul Khan, maybe stopping by a little shopping district on the way to procure some clothes.
I might need some hair product too.
So as we are leaving the courtyard, I'm gonna say that the cinematic shot, I don't think any of you all noticed this because we're probably still talking about shopping and costumes, but the cinematic shot would pan out and we would see crouching on the rooftop is a small figure, their face half covered with hair. And as you all walk out of the courtyard, they will just lightly jump up in the air and land on a rooftop and begin to follow you. The four of us make our way to that town square, the Fire Nation Capital Square, where still there's a lot of bustling activity going on. There's no sign of Minister Zianda now. He's clearly moved on to other things, but there's a little market here with some people are, really cashing in on that celebrity wedding being in town. So you see all kinds of fancy outfits that might be appropriate for a wedding, etc., etc. But you know that these are pricey. These are not going to be cheap.
I know my salary is really low, being 0 right now. I wonder, Bowen, if I could get an advance on my 0 salary for future raises to maybe get like a cool cloak.
You know, I would love to. I genuinely would, but then I would hate to get in between your philosophy of the guiding wind and not having stuff. So, you know, I think it's a firm stance to not give you any money.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You could accept that, or you know that Bowen's principles are self-reliance and trust. Trust as in being trust you, your ward, to know what's best. Would you like to try and push him towards trust and try and call him out on that and get him to give you some money to trust you for that? This would be the move called calling someone out, which you, as his ward, get a +1 to do.
Oh, you know I'm gonna call you out. So I say, Bowen, I respect you, as I respect all Earth sages. And I must tell you that if you're gonna trust me the same way I trust you, we're gonna continue traveling together. What's mine is yours, and what's yours, it's also mine.
All right, so go ahead and roll for it. So normally when you're calling someone out, you have to shift your own principle to do it, because you have to like really stand firm in what you believe in order to call someone out. But because you are Bowen's ward, you get to do this without doing that, and you get a +1. So go ahead and roll +1.
6, 7. Just
7.
barely.
Perfect. So because Bowen is at a 0 trust, it would be 0 + 1, so that is a 7. Bowen, on a 7, you are called to act as Nyanchi says. You must either give her some money to buy some clothes, or you will mark a condition.
All right. Here's some money.
2 coins?
Yeah.
Wow, this is the most money I've ever held.
Perfect. But you now can also challenge Nyanshi's principles in turn. So if you want, you can try and shift her towards her confidence or her loyalty. And if you accept it, then you will shift your balance. But if not, then you will have to mark a fatigue. So would you try and push back a little bit here?
Yeah, but you know, with those 2 coins, remember, you know, what we're doing, we're working on, and you're supposed to trust in me. But I trust in you. But do you trust in me? Are you loyal to me with those 2 coins?
You don't have to roll because it's just a. I know.
I pass you Buzzlebee, my dragonfly bunny.
Who blinks at you? Boom, boom. I just see the big dragonfly eyes like staring at you in the face here.
I've never let anyone hold Buzzlebee before. You could tell I'm kind of like sweating. I'm very nervous.
All right, keep the 2 coins, I guess.
I give him my trust, yeah, for sure.
So you were going to shift towards loyalty now. So you'll just mark the one closer to loyalty. And, yeah.
Well, that was cute. You guys, from wherever the heck you are from, this is the streets of Capital City. And I see something that I can use tonight. And I was wondering if I can trick the guy, roll for a trick to maybe loan it to me. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm gonna get it back to him, but I don't have the money for it right now. But in my trick thing, I may be able, through my creativity, to convince him to loan me the outfit under a few lies and whatnot. But I will return it once the mission's done.
So you see this merchant standing here with his clothing stall, and he is like, the only word for it is bedazzled.
Yes.
Like, silk jacket, chains, you know, you see like a lot of just like glimmering jewelry, like jewels sewn into the jacket for no reason. And as you're all like sort of like puttering in front of his stall, he'll just sort of like slide over. So he's right next to you and he's like, hello, looking at you specifically because you look like the only one who has money, even though you don't have money. And he'd be like, sir, can I interest you today in a fine new outfit for the celebrity wedding happening? Princess Zaysan and Kandro. Oh, yes. Might I show you this cloak right here? This would be 30 monies.
That is the one I was looking at, for sure.
Excellent. Why don't we get you to try it on? It's just
Let me try it on. Let me try it on. Bam.
Oh, God.
Linged out, for sure. I'm thinking.
It looks marvelous on you, marvelous.
Doesn't it?
Did I say 30 monies? I think I meant 50 monies.
I have, you know, do you understand that I am, where I'm from, some may say I'm royal. There's a royalty aspect, and
I see that in you. I see it in your
have
cheekbones, in
somewhat
your
of a-
demeanor.
somewhat of influence across the land where I come from. If
an
I were to
influencer.
wear this cloak tonight for the event, and of course it's going to be well seen. I mean, some may think of me as an influencer for a certain amount of people. We can get enough eyes on you and your designing that you can sell 10-fold of this. Why don't you let me borrow the cloak for tonight? Borrow. I'm going to return it 100%, but what you will get in return is the eyes of tens of thousands of people from my village. And if I show them the new style for this new season, believe me, you will have a plethora of people ordering this from you.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Why don't you go ahead and roll that trick
Roll
with
that
creativity,
trick. Oh
please?
no, let's roll this trick.
I love it when players give me like the most in-depth, beautiful description, and then the
All right,
rolls
I
do
gotta
not
get
support.
7. I gotta get a 7.
7 is the minimum.
Oh God, but I got a +2.
Yeah.
I have a +2, you guys. Can
Let's go.
Ezra be blinged out tonight? Let's.
Ooh.
7 + 2.
That's a 9.
We're in. 9.
Beautiful. Does anyone want to try and help Ezra get to a 10 for a full success?
I will jump in there. I'll take a fatigue as I say to the shopkeep, absolutely. I mean, I've been following you for such a long
Thank you.
time. I'm gonna buy something right now just because I saw you in the
wait,
shop.
just-
And I give my 2 coins to this person, and I try and get like a shawl
Oh,
that's
nice.
matching because I really want to look
Oh.
just like you.
Little sister.
I take the 2 coins, absolutely. And I feel like you have like draped this shawl over your shoulders already, and he'll just like pull it off of you and put like a much shabbier one on you and be like, this one suits you much more. But you, sir, yes, I see the mark of celebrity on you. With the full success on that trick, you have some options. You get to pick 2 of these options. So you will either get a +1 forward acting against them, meaning if you ever roll against this shopkeeper again, you'll get a bonus to that. Or I will act foolishly and I will give you an additional opportunity, or I will be deceived for some time. So you get 2 options here.
I'll take the first 2 options.
Perfect. So you now have a +1 forward against this shopkeeper, and the additional opportunity I give you is, first of all, please, yes, you know what, sir? Tens of thousands of villagers should see you in that
yes,
piece.
yes.
It fits you so well, and like, it doesn't really super fit you, but like
I do
as
a
you
little
wear
air bending
yeah.
to make it blow in the wind.
Exactly.
Thank you. Oh, beautiful.
And
beautiful.
meanwhile, he's like running around you, sort of like taking it in and stitching it. It's like, marvelous, marvelous. Why don't you keep that as a sign of goodwill?
Oh, wow.
Can I give you an affiliate code? So,
Yeah, I can pass it along. I can pass it along.
what's your name, sir?
My name is Ezra of the village of Fireflies.
Ezra of the Village of Fireflies. If anyone comes to tell people, if they come to my shop and give me the word Firefly, I'll give them a 10% discount. I'll give you a 5% commission.
Thank you very much.
Excellent, excellent. And the rest of you, you all looking now at our shabbiest member with your matted hair. He just sort of like skips over you as if you don't exist. You, sir, the shoulders, yes.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine with what I'm wearing.
That looks really good.
All
Can
right.
we do something about
No,
See-
lost cause. I don't think. I think he just gets like a giant hat and just like puts it on your head so it like falls over your face. Perfect.
So while everybody has been in their little bouts of loyalty and oh, I am a icon influencer, ZB has gone and chosen a little number, a little green number that is worthy of going to the symposium tonight, but slipped it in the back of her satchel
Perfect.
so that the shopkeeper cannot see what she has taken.
Yes, absolutely. So normally, because you have the outlaw background, I would ask you to rely on your skills and training. However, we are in a risky situation because there's a shopkeeper here. There's lots of people around. It's risky. You don't want to get caught. So I'm going to get you to roll to push your luck with
Got
passion,
it. Let's
please.
push the luck.
Yes.
Okay.
No, no.
7
+1.
plus 1.
I have an 8.
8? Perfect. So when 8 on a hit, you do it, but it costs you to scrape by.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you what it costs you. So
Okay.
you grabbed a cute little green number.
Yes.
You slipped it into your satchel.
Yes.
I'm gonna say you did not get a great look at what that outfit looks like. You just kind of shoved it in there, but nobody sees you, and you definitely have an outfit.
Thank you. Yes, yes. I'll take it.
So I feel like now we've turned the attention back to you, and the shopkeeper is like, nothing I can do for this one, and we just see ZB with this like bulging satchel behind her.
May I quickly, Game Master?
Yes.
The bold playbook has a legacy of excellence, and I got to choose 4 drives, and one of them was get a fancy new outfit. So I'm gonna cross that off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think that a shabby little shawl for 2 coins is a fancy new outfit, then I'm so here for it.
At the monastery, I've only ever gotten one outfit, and I had to keep it very clean and tidy. So yeah, this is the coolest thing I've ever gotten.
Perfect. So when you mark one of your drives, you actually get some bonuses. So you'll cross it out, and you can mark growth, which is like the XP of this game, or you can clear a condition, which you don't have any. So go ahead and mark growth, which is on the back of the playbook sheet. Yep. I know where things are. All right, beautiful. Bowen, it sounds to me like, you know, you're sort of letting these 3 do their things. But what did you choose as your demeanor?
Serious.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So, you are not engaging with any of this. And do you think, what would Bowen be doing? I mean, you have someone to protect here. You know there's a plot going on.
Yeah, I'm just kind of scanning the whole place. Definitely saw that little sneak move you did, but didn't say anything. Doesn't concern me. But yeah, I'm just kind of like scanning, making sure you're safe, making sure there's no one. On my mind currently, I'm thinking about these hooded figures that definitely know we took the scroll. So from that moment, there's not a moment that I believe we're safe until we've accomplished this mission.
Absolutely. So it sounds to me like you would like to assess a situation.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out on what's going on.
Yes, indeed.
So that'll be a move with your creativity, please.
All right.
Ooh.
Well, so that's 5, it's 4.
Ah, perfect. I love that for you. So tell me what this 4 looks like. So you are not going to be great at scoping out the place right now. So tell me what gets in the way. What stops you?
So I'm doing a good job assessing the situation, and then I notice her take the green number. And then I think to myself, it's like, ZB took that green number. Maybe I'm making my way through to her. She's knowing the glory of the Earth Sages because she's aligning herself by choosing that color. There's many colors she could have chosen. She's chosen green. So maybe after the party, I'll pull her aside and we'll talk about some of the great teachings and systems that were in place before we were stamped out. And I just kind of monologue in my head, and now I'm no longer even looking at it. I'm just kind of thinking about my plans to indoctrinate ZB.
Yes, of course, of course. So the cinematic would show Bowen standing there, having this running monologue in his head, looking like he's scoping out the situation, but his head is just completely occupied, with yes, save the Earth Sages. And the cinematic would show behind you, just a shadowy figure will creep up behind you and sort of slip something in. Do you have a satchel or a pocket?
Yeah, I imagine I'd probably have a satchel around my waist.
Just slip something into that satchel around your waist and then just slides back into the shadows. You don't notice anything.
Oh, let me get back on task. Nothing is getting by me.
Perfect. So, we have gotten outfits. You have a hat.
Yeah.
They let you keep the hat. It's like a promotional hat that says, oh my gosh, a name Zhu's Clothing Wears.
I imagine it to be very bright.
Yes.
It has
very large.
purple, neon orange, which I typically don't want to draw so much attention to myself.
Yes, exactly. And where do we go from here?
I snag a promotional hat on the way out the door so I can match both of these very cool people.
Wants to be our twinsy. Great.
Perfect.
Guess we have a party to
We
attend.
definitely have a party to attend.
So this shortcut that you two have figured out already will lead you now from the town square through kind of like the back alley of a residential neighborhood, I'm picturing. So it's not going to be as busy and crowded, and you should be able to, make your way there without too much commotion.
With the walk and talk, I'm gonna go up next to ZB and ask, so what's in the satchels? They look like they're sewn really tight.
Yeah, I bet you'd like to know.
Yeah, you seem really interesting, and so I like to know a lot of things about a lot of people, and then I write them in my journal later.
Well, I feel like in the moment, ZB's still cautious, and the moment that she hears that she's gonna write it down, it feels very threatening, even though maybe it's unintentional. It just feels like, if anybody finds out who I really am, that could cause a lot of trouble. Yes.
Dear diary, today I met a friend who wouldn't tell me anything about herself. She's so mysterious.
Perfect. So as those two are doing that, Ezra and Bo, what are you two doing as you're walking through this residential neighborhood?
And I'm still kind of like scanning and just listening to them talk while just kind of like being essentially the security guard.
And I just whisper to him, I spend a lot of time. Earth Kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm always topping grounds. I mean,
Can you tell me about the Earth Sages? What you know about them?
I met a lot of Earth Sages. I met a lot of good people in Earth Kingdom. There's a few people I left, in my mind. I think about it. There's a few girls out there that I probably owe a letter or two to, But some of my favorite places are Earth Kingdom.
Oh, nice.
There was like a very cool, there wasn't a lot of water around. It was still pretty warm and hot. There's some great saunas out there. There was
If you had to pick a favorite, would you say On My Shoe or Ba Sing Se?
Ba Sing Se was
All right, well,
jumping for sure. I'm saying Ba Sing Se was jumping, but there's something about Amashu. I like the whole, was that a real story? The whole, is it true or is it like a legend?
It's true. I believe it's true.
Amashu's for lovers.
Yeah.
All the while, walking behind, I'm still pestering you, ZB. Okay,
Yes, I know. I could feel it.
If we're gonna be friends and I'm gonna trust you, which I really like to trust people and I really like a lot of friends, you gotta give me something. What's that? Is that a pendant?
Don't look at it.
Wow, can it open? Oh, sorry, I shouldn't touch without asking. Can I open your pendant?
No.
Okay.
Do you want to try and call her out on her principle of friendship?
Yes, I do.
Absolutely. So this is great because earlier in the game, Ernan Rioshan already pushed you a little bit towards friendship. So currently, ZB is at a +1 friendship, which will give you a little bonus to do it. But first, you have to cement yourself in one of your principles. So when you call someone out to live up to their principle, you have to shift your balance away from center. So this will be shifting you towards loyalty.
Instead of confidence?
Yes, because you're already, because if you shift towards confidence, that would be towards center, but you need to go away from center.
I see. Interesting. I love that. Okay, great.
So your loyalty to your friend here makes you want to know so that you can help her and, something like that.
Oh, sure. I'll justify anything if I have to.
Cool. So go ahead and shift towards loyalty. So you're now at +2 loyalty.
Okay.
And then you're going to roll with ZB's friendship, which is a +1.
ZB, listen, I want to do anything you need for me. I offer you my friendship, but I need something back. That's an 8 +1 is 9.
9, all right.
Okay.
So similar to what has happened before, if you don't do as your friend is asking you here, you will mark a condition, meaning you'll be afraid, angry, guilty, insecure, or troubled. But you could also do what she says, and then you'll be able to shift her balances as well.
Got it. Okay.
So what would ZB do here?
ZB do.
I haven't had very many friends in the several years that I've been wandering around, but I am here for a purpose. The person who gave me this pendant is Princess Zazon.
Oh my God,
So I'm here to reunite with her, no matter what it looks like.
I pledge to help you do that.
All right, so you can shift towards friendship now. So you'll be at the 2 friendship mark. And if you want, you can try and shift Nyanshi towards loyalty or confidence. Either
I
or.
really feel like I need her loyalty here, that I really would like you to keep that confidential.
You mean I can't even tell Bowen? Like I can't tell the shopkeeper because whose clothing wears.
Especially not the shopkeeper who gave me this hat.
Yeah, both of you are wearing those hats as this is happening
orange.
also. Yeah.
Marketing hat.
No one can know why we're here.
Sure, yeah, even though you get
No
free
one
hats.
can know why we're here.
And don't tell Bowen?
Not even Bowen. Bowen will find out when the time is right.
So here's your choice now, Nyanshi. You can either shift towards loyalty as ZB is asking you to do, or you will mark a fatigue because you just can't do that.
I won't tell anyone. Pinky swear.
I reluctantly put my pinky out, but this is, I do need some assistance.
I squeeze it and then I spin around and like force you to spin.
And
then
I'm
spin on the
wobbly,
ground.
and I kind of, I'm wobbly, but I stay on my feet.
You have to spin on the ground to make it official.
Oh, gotcha, okay. Spin on the ground, here
So
we
at
go.
this time, I'd like to assess the situation. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to live up to my principle upon seeing them kind of have this mark of friendship. I'm no longer just laser focused on Nyanshi, and I'm able to actually take in everything, which will then allow me to roll for assess the situation. Instead of using creativity, which I have a -1 in, I can use it towards my trust, which I do have a +1 in.
Yes, perfect. So roll with the +1 trust.
6, 8, 9.
9, beautiful. You get to ask one of these questions, and then when you're acting on the answers, you can take a +1 to that. So your questions are, what here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way out, in, or through? Or who or what is in the greatest danger? And I will say as well, this was a story beat I was gonna take before this. As you're yeah, I'm laser focused. I am looking around. Ezra, you notice that his satchel is on fire, but maybe you don't notice that yet. So what question would you like to ask when you're assessed?
Well, it was going to be, what should I be on the lookout for? But I think I just got the answer to that. I guess...
I actually, that could still be good if you would like
Okay.
to discover why your satchel is on fire.
Yeah. What should I be on the lookout for?
Cool. So Bowen's looking around yeah, what should I be on the lookout for? And that's when maybe Ezra's like, oh.
Bowen, yo, your butt's on fire. Whoa. And I didn't do it.
Okay. That makes you sound very guilty. But let me deal with that fire immediately.
Bowen, you spin around, you see your satchel on fire, and you're like, what the heck? And you start patting it out. And what should I be on the lookout for? You should be on the lookout for who did this, which is not Ezra, allegedly. But you're looking around, and you see from behind one of the garden gates, a shadow darts across it and behind a planter box.
We're being followed.
The shadow leaps up over the gate and then will spin around you and goes behind ZB and you feel like a hand at your satchels, but they're so too tight, and then that shadow flashes again to hide somewhere else.
What the heck was that?
Did you see that?
Whatever probably lit me on fire.
Oh.
I'll try to blow a little air to put the fire out.
Yeah.
And I put,
The water.
Yeah, no, it
I
makes it
see,
worse.
I see that Sister Nyanshi tries to do that, and I just do a little squirt of water,
Perfect.
and that's what puts it out.
So as you're all a fluster trying to help your friend Bowen here, that's when the shadow will stop in front of you. And it's almost before they were just a blur, here. But then they stop, and you see that it's maybe a 16-year-old kid. His hair is all covering his face like this. And he's like, they hired you fools for this? I can't believe it. Ugh. Well, and he starts just counting some money that he stole from you. So, my name is Tiger Monkey, and you're all going to tell me what your plans are.
Tiger monkey.
Yes, that's my name, I just told you.
Tiger monkey.
Gosh, they really got the smartest of the smart for this plot, didn't they?
Who is they?
Can we assess the situation? Is there anything?
I'm in love.
I feel like I see that and I just say, you need to give us our money back. Right now. Isn't that one
Do you
of-
think, is that the best you got? Does that sound like what you may be trying to do when you goad or provoke an NPC into foolhardy action? Is that what you really want to get your money back? Or do you want to know what this
I
guy's
want to know
about?
why he's following us.
Cool.
Yeah, that seems stronger.
All right, so what do you say to him? To goad or provoke him?
I want to say,
Sorry, I gotta get in costume.
Yeah. It's solid.
I know you can't be following us with that hair covering your eye. Oh, well, I guess you could see us a little bit better.
So go ahead and roll with passion for is that the best you got?
Okay.
Ooh!
Yes.
Critical success.
Awesome.
Crit,
yes.
let's
Crit, crit, crit. So on a 10 plus, they do it.
All right.
So,
Why are you following us?
well,
Then why is your hair swoop so good?
I keep it, keep it long. Anyways, well, you were all seen leaving Aaronon Rioshan's house, and we all know that the air nomads are like up to no good here in the Fire Nation capital, so I was hired to follow you and sabotage you. But like, what even are you doing? You've just been shopping and like obsessing over each other, and like, what is the plot? What is the plot? What are you doing? What are you doing to destroy the Fire Nation capital? Just tell me right now.
Tiger Monkey, you got it all wrong. The guiding wind is not up to no good. We're doing so much good. We're teaching people the power of asceticism and non-consumerism. I mean, that's very conflicting with my need to shop, but
Sister, little sister, calm down 1 second. Hey, kid, tiger,
I'm
monkey,
16.
tiger.
I'm not a kid.
Okay. We're just hanging out. We're going to the party tonight. We're just showing up at the party like anyone else.
We're friends of friends.
We're here to celebrate.
Then what was with the secret meeting with Aaronon Rioshan?
that was more a dispute over a painting burning.
Yeah, also, what do you mean secret? We just had a regular meeting. What makes it secret? Just because you don't know? You ain't gonna know everything.
It was matcha tea.
I'm 16. Of course I know everything. So, it sounds like we're trying to trick Tiger Monkey, and it seems like, Ezra, you're taking the lead on that. So why don't you go ahead and roll with your creativity, please?
Creativity, let's go. Let's see what you got, Tiger Monkey. Oh, 7 plus 2.
Plus 2
9.
is a 9.
Wow.
Good.
All right. So, do we want to try and boost it to a full success?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a fatigue and boost that.
How do you help, Bowen?
I'm just like, I mean, look at this guy. You know, he's from your spot. You know, with me as coming from the Earth Kingdom, I know how loyal y'all are to each other. There's no way he would lie to you.
We're just going to party, young Tiger King. Tiger Monkey.
Tiger King is fine too. So, with a trick, you get to have now 2 of these options. You'll get a +1 forward against Tiger Monkey. I'll give you another opportunity, or they are deceived for some time.
I want a +1 for Tiger Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, can I find out, like, who actually made him come
That
follow
sounds
us?
like an additional opportunity I could give you.
I'm trying to find
That
out
would be good.
who sent you to follow us.
You're all just going to a party.
Yeah. But, I mean, how you work
These idiot nobles. I work for the noble court, and I was hired to figure out your plot to like destroy the Fire Nation capital, but he looks specifically at you. Eyes go up to Zhu's clothing stand on your hat, and he's like, clearly you're not a threat to the symposium at Haribul Khan, so
No threat
It is
here.
a bucket hat. That's what we're all picturing, right?
I was actually picturing like a foam
dunce
cowboy
cap?
hat,
Yeah,
but
foam,
it made no sense.
The finger, like when they're like, one,
Yeah.
one.
Tiger
Even
Monkey.
better.
No threat here. No threat here. We're just going to party.
Yeah. just
You're all
to a
going to
party.
the
Just
symposium
have
and-
Threatened by the idea
There's
of
food there.
romance.
Maybe. He wouldn't admit that to you, actually.
Yeah.
So you're all just going to that symposium thing because you're all like nobles or whatever.
Yeah.
We hear the food's good there.
Yeah.
Just rich people doing rich people things.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because the people who hire me are like also there right now. So like, why did they do that if you're just like going there or whatever?
Tiger monkey.
Should
Rich
we-
people. Who knows?
Wait.
Should we say hello when we see them?
Yeah, who do we say hello to?
Oh, you know, like Xanda and.
Oh, yeah, good old friend. Old friend.
So like, I gotta go back there anyways to like report back or whatever and tell them that you're all, you know,
Yeah.
not a threat
Not a
whatsoever.
threat. Not a threat at all. Not us.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna walk with you.
All right, let's go.
I slip a note into Tiger Monkey's satchel that just says heart ? And it's signed with a picture of my pigtails, like a little stick figure.
Just puts it back in his pocket.
I don't know. I don't know if he notices right now that I slipped it.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to be sneaky.
Okay, cool. I'll say that you can
That's for later.
You like slip it in right before he like slides back into the shadow, because he says he's gonna walk with you, but not like with you, more like behind you. So together we can all make our way to the training hall of Haribul Khan, and now I think we are at the second tick on our clock as the symposium is coming up. You see the crowds of nobles gathered outside the training hall. You all are in your disguises, except for you need to go ahead and change into that green number you
Yes.
got.
So I pull it out.
You pull it out and it is like a chiffon, like floofy, like just like tiers of chiffon, just so much chiffon. You're like a puffy chiffon like ball.
Wow, this doesn't normally seem like your style.
Yeah, I can barely breathe in this.
Oh.
It's not my size, but you know what? It'll be good for the disguise when we're at the symposium.
Yes,
No,
but
you
I,
look completely out of place. Tiger Monkey says, appearing from nowhere.
I didn't ask your opinion, but okay,
but
right.
I like the green.
Yes, I like the green too. I like the green.
Yes, indeed.
I feel like I whisper to my new friend, Sister Nyanshi, do I look awkward? Are people gonna notice me?
Nothing you could do would ever be awkward.
Sister Nyanshi, that sounds like you're trying to guide and comfort your friend.
Yeah.
Go ahead and let's just say you mark of insecure. You're
Yes,
feeling
that's
a
what I'm
little
feeling.
a little insecure right now in your funny green outfit. So why don't
Absolutely.
you guide and comfort your friend with harmony, please?
Ooh, okay. I got a 1. So that's a 7 plus 1 is 8.
We have all been rolling pretty okay today, y'all.
Great.
So on an 8, you get to choose one of these options. So as you're guiding and comforting your friend, ZB, you have 2 choices. You can either embrace this guidance and comfort, or you will shut her down. Which one do you think you would lean towards?
Yeah, I feel that makes that makes me feel very, very odd. Very odd, considering that I'm going to see the princess there. And I do not want to appear as a fool.
So do you take in that guidance and comfort, or do you kind of shut it out?
I feel like because I feel like I'm so awkward, I'm like, oh no.
All right. So it sounds like you are shutting Sister Nyanshi down. So you can inflict a condition on her and shift her balance.
And what would that
Oh,
mean?
sorry. You inflict a condition on her, and then Nyanshi, you can shift her balance.
Oh.
So how do you want Nyanshi to feel after saying this ridiculous thing? Like, you're going to see Zaysan and you're wearing this.
Yes.
How do you want her to feel about that ridiculous advice? Afraid, angry, guilty, trouble, insecure?
I feel like, yeah, I feel like it'd be more troubled, like, wait a minute, like, that does not make any sense to me. Like, look at me. I look ridiculous. Why would you tell me that when I'm going to see the love of my life?
So you will mark troubled now. Why would you tell her
Why
that?
would I tell her that? Why would I tell her that?
And you can also shift ZB's principles towards either friendship or survival.
Well, you know what? Maybe you don't need my advice, huh? Too good for it? Maybe you just need princess, whatever. I don't even remember Cezanne or whatever. I don't even think she's that neat, and I didn't even want to go to her wedding that bad. And fine, be on your own.
As soon as you say, I don't even want to go to her wedding that bad, that's when like the doors of Haribul Khan open and out steps Princess Zaysan to address the nobles and welcome them all to the symposium. She looks good.
Would
And
you
I
say
look
I
like
stood
this.
up to someone who doesn't respect me?
Do you think that ZB doesn't respect you?
I mean, she didn't take my clothing and fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and mark that drive.
Okay.
So, the two of you are here, and as Princess Zaysan steps out to address the nobles, welcome everyone to the Symposium of the Guiding Wind. Please step inside. We will be beginning shortly. You see Minister Zianda step up to her and whisper something in her ear.
Let's get closer to the minister.
All right. But
But
control yourself.
I'm under control, 100% under control right now. I told you, Bowen. I've been waiting a long time for this day.
That's why I'm
And the
afraid
day-
of you not being in control.
Let's go.
Do you think that maybe you would be trying to push one of Ezra's balances? Because he has this care and force spectrum. Would you be trying to maybe caution him to be careful?
Yeah, I'd like you to be careful. You know, Princess Saison is in danger right now.
Right.
And
Yeah.
if anything happens, it
I
might
understand.
cause enough commotion for,
But I need to talk to that man right there.
yeah, I know.
There's a lot of people here.
But there,
And if we can really expose him here now, do you understand? Do you understand what I'm talking about right
I
now,
understand
Bowen?
where you're coming from.
Then let's go.
Okay.
All right, let's just real quick do the call someone out move. So Bowen, you are going to shift your own balance away from center. So I think
Okay.
that'll be pushing you towards trust.
All right.
So you are going to trust that Ezra will listen to you and be cautioned. And Ezra, you are still at a 0-0 balance, I believe.
Yes.
So Bowen, you will roll +0.
Okay. That's gonna be 7.
7. Okay. So Ezra, if you should be careful, or you will have to mark a condition. Do you accept?
I know I'm
being
gonna be careful. Very careful.
All right. Mark +1 care. And if you want, you can shift Bowen's principles towards either self-reliance or trust.
Trust. We're going trust. Go
Did that
towards-
put you past +3 trust, Bowen? Or are
No,
you at
but
3?
I'm at 3.
So 3 of you being at the edge of your balance is very interesting, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so you kind of have no choice but to be swept in with the crowds of these nobles who are all coming to see Princess Zaysan. And you see around the hall, there are a number of people wearing Guiding Wind air nomad clothing. However, something seems a little off about them. And we have an air nomad with us who is familiar with these people. Can you go ahead and roll? Actually, I'm not gonna have you roll for it because you would just know these people are not air nomads. They don't carry themselves, they're very rigid. And you see maybe people trying to like cover their eyes. You see some golden eyes among them. These are not air nomads. These are Fire Nation people dressed as air nomads. But you don't really have a chance to say anything as the symposium begins and Zaysan begins speaking about the principles of the Guiding Wind, thanking people for coming here, etc.
There's nothing more important to me than listening to an orator talking about the Guiding Wind. Absolutely nothing. So this is very difficult, but I think I'm gonna use Buzzlebee in some way. My best friend that's been sitting on my shoulder this whole time. Dragonfly bunny, tiny little bunny with giant wings and huge eyes. And so I think that I am going to dehood them with the help of my flying little friend, or send a message to my friends here. But that seems rude to speak while someone else is speaking. So I'm gonna have Buzzlebee attempt to dehood the closest of them.
Yes, to kind of get in there with these suspicious people and
There's
find
no
out.
secret handshake you guys, you air nomads have to just prove that you're air nomads.
Oh, we of course have a secret
Of course you do. No time for that.
All right, so go ahead and roll your best friend move. So because you are using Buzzlebee to push your luck, you can roll with creativity instead of passion. You just have to mark 1 fatigue.
I'm on it, because that gives me a +2 to the roll instead of a -1.
Let's go, Buzzlebee. Let's go, Buzzlebee. 6
Wow.
plus 2, 8.
8?
Okay.
It's only 7.
Oh.
7.
so
Or we
seven.
got a 5 over here.
Oh, it's 5. Sorry.
5
I'm
plus
like-
2 is 7, indeed. So that will do it. So on a hit, you do it, but it costs you to scrape by. So you see Buzzlebee. How big is Buzzlebee? Like this?
Like 4 inches tall.
Okay. So you see Buzzlebee just sort of make his way, him? Buzzlebee a boy? Okay.
Yeah.
Buzzlebee make his way towards the nearest of these fake air nomads, and you see this person just sort of like swat away at them. Buzzlebee does get hit. You feel it in your bones as he gets like swatted. So you will have to mark a condition because he gets hurt.
Oh, that makes me angry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm angry and troubled. Uh-oh.
But as Buzzlebee is like, goes kind of under the robes and almost like in the back, like lifts them up a little bit. And you see this person has an air glider tucked in under their robes, but attached to like the wings of the air glider are these 2 like large sort of like spheres that look kind of like oil lamps.
Ooh.
But then, you know, this person sort of swats again and Buzzlebee has to like get out of there.
Am I close enough to any of my friends to tell them what I saw?
Sure. We're all gathered up together.
Okay. Those are firebenders, for sure. Fire Nation. There's something about an oil lamp. Can anybody
Oil lamp.
snag it, maybe?
I guess.
You hear Zayson's speech coming to a climax as she is now, you know, beseeching the nobles of the Fire Nation to give up your worldly possessions, join the guiding wind with myself and my husband-to-be, Kandro, who is unfortunately not here right now, but together we can build a new Fire Nation, one that is built on these strong ideals. When one of the air nomads in the back suddenly cries out, "Destroy the nobility of the Fire Nation!" And people start looking around. What are we gonna do? More cries from the air nomads, or the fake air nomads around the room. Destroy the nobility! Root out the corruption!
I just immediately screams like, "Those aren't air nomads! Those aren't air nomads!"
Oh, not air nomads? Watch this! And the one who you saw with the air glider jumps up into the air with the glider and starts to swoop down around the nobles. The nobles are freaking out like, the air nomads are attacking! Air nomads are attacking! And Zayson is trying to keep everyone calm like, please, no. But the room is chaos as more of these fake air nomads use their gliders to jump up in the air. You being a firebender, Ezra, you see that they are being fueled by like sort of a hot air balloon technique. Those spheres are like igniting hot air to make them fly.
I use my earthbending to bring 2 pillars up and knock them out of the sky.
Okay. Woo! So it sounds like we're going into combat now as we are going to engage this threat. So let's do a real quick combat. So
Okay.
right now we have identified our enemy as these fake air nomads. You can tell that the one whose robe Buzzlebee got under, she seems to be their leader as she's sort of directing people, you know, go here, go here. So we have 2 foes on the table right now. So I'm gonna get everyone to flip your sheet over to combat. And now we're gonna use our very cool combat action deck.
Yay!
So everyone pick up your cards.
Get to use
go.
them.
So we're going to target the leader, because if we bring down the leader, then we'll be able to stop the rest of them. So in combat, you have 3 options of approaches that you can take. There is defend and maneuver, advance and attack, or evade and observe. So I am also going to pick something for my NPC, which I am putting on the table. So once you have decided what approach you're going to use, just put it face down on the table, and then we will reveal all of what we are going to do. So, everyone who is defending and maneuvering, please reveal your cards. Perfect. So for Sister Nyanshi, you are going to roll with focus to defend and maneuver.
All right. I also have a special ability of tag team. Work with an ally against the same foe. Choose an enraged foe and an ally. Double any fatigue conditions or balance shifts that ally inflicts upon the foe.
Perfect. So you are going to try and use your tag team technique. First, I need you to roll with focus to determine how many techniques you'll be able to do.
That's a 7.
Perfect. So you can do 1, and that'll be your tag team. So what does it look like as you get ready to bolster your allies and help them in this fight?
You see my game face come on. And it's not something that easily happens for Nyanchi, but my loyalty, when it is threatening someone I care about, which right now is the princess, I just am overcome with a grimace. And then I look to Bowen to have his back on whatever he does next.
Perfect.
And
all right.
if you kick them, I kick them when they're down.
Excellent. And ZB, you are also defending and maneuvering, you said?
I am not.
Oh, okay.
I am. Yes.
Perfect. So if no one else is defending and maneuvering, we are going into the advance and attack phase. Everyone who is advancing and attacking?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Combat it is. Let's start with Ezra. Roll with passion, please, to determine how many techniques you are going to use.
Okay, passion, I got +1.
Oh.
10.
10?
+1.
Beautiful.
11.
Wow.
Awesome.
Off the charts.
So you get to do 2 moves. You can do your specialized move, which is Overwhelm, or on the basic move sheet on the back, you'll see some other combat moves under Advance and Attack. You can strike, pressure, smash, or feel free to just describe what you're doing, and I'll guide you to the roll you need, or the move it would be.
Oh yeah, on this side. Oh yes. So Ezra, you know, he's so close. He's so close to Minister.
The Minister is definitely one of those people yelling, "The air nomads are attacking! The air nomads are attacking!"
He's yelling. He wants to, about to like grab him, and very much looks at him, but he looks at the team and the guys flying around, and he, last second, turns and says, "I can't do this right now. I have to assess what's going on with these false air nomads." So he conjures up some firebending. He thinks maybe I can burn off these robes and really expose what they're doing. It appears to be air nomads flying with these, you can kind of barely see the gliders, but we saw that there is something powering them that is not airbending. And so he does this technique, which is very, I hope Bowen realizes, has some firebending in it, where he does this punch into the air, and it has this powerful flame that goes and it burns. It's so hot it burns through and it sizzles the cloaks, and the cloaks kind of dissolve off these guys flying around.
I think that should sound like a smash. Mark 1 fatigue to destroy or destabilize something in the environment. So you unleash this wave of firebending. They're trying to dodge around you, like they're zipping and flying, but as soon as like the edge of their robes catch on fire, they all burn off. And you see they're wearing very tight red uniforms of Fire Nation soldiers underneath the robes, and the leader, the one that you exposed, will yell, "How dare you stand in our way!" But then, what else are we doing here? So this happens, everything in an exchange happens at the same time. It's all going very fast. So Bowen, why don't you go ahead and roll your advance and attack with passion, please.
All right. That's going to be 8 for B.
All right, you get to do 1 move from the advance and attack list.
Oh, well, I'll go ahead and also attempt a smash by bringing my fists up like this to bring 2 pillars up under the leader.
Yes. Mio, the leader of the soldiers, she's turning around to yell at Ezra, and then these pillars come up and knock her out of the air. She is now impaired as she's lying on the ground and sort of like dazed for a minute. It will be harder for her if we go to a next exchange. It will be more difficult for her to do certain moves. And then go ahead with your attack.
Is it okay if I
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
With passion, please.
That'll be 2 conditions because I tag teamed
yes.
and I used airbending to hit them back and forth to both of these earth pillars.
Perfect.
I have an 8.
8.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
So you get to do 1 move.
So I'm gonna use the smash advance, and what I'm gonna do is I use my water bending technique of a swirl to create some sort of, it's like a cyclone effect that swirls the water, and it gets the leader, and the swirl surrounds the leader.
Perfect. So she is just twisting and turning in this whirlwind. She also has an advance and attack though, and she like looks at Minister Zianda and she says, "For the Fire Lord!" And she like thrusts out her wrist, and you see on her wrist she has these gadgets rigged up, and they burst with flame, but then it turns into a stream of like hot air, and she blasts it towards Princess Zayson, who falls to the ground, ducking and hiding. But people around the symposium, this hall, are now saying like, wait, those aren't air nomads, those are firebenders, those are Fire Nation soldiers, what is this? Zayson is still ducking and hiding. Now, this is the end of the combat exchange because we don't have any more combatants to fight against. What would we do after we expose the Fire Nation soldiers? What can we do here to cement this in that this was not an air nomad plot? What will we say?
Earth Sages forever! Earth Sages forever! Earth Sages forever!
The nobles start picking up Earth Sages forever!
Earth Sages forever.
I'm gonna use my airbending to float in the air and say, let this be a lesson to all of you fire nobles, that the airbenders have nothing to, no intention to harm you, and we want to bring together all of the nations. Say it with us. Earth Sages forever! Earth Sages forever!
Sister Nyanshi, I want you to roll a plead, please, with harmony.
Here's the thing about that. I have a condition, so a plead, because I'm troubled, I'm gonna get -2.
But you also have a +3 to loyalty right now. And if you live up to your principle of loyalty, you can mark a fatigue and roll with that +3 instead of the -2. Oh wait, no, sorry, instead of the thing that would give you the -2.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I'll take the 3 and I'll take fatigue. That's gonna be an 11.
An
Nice.
11. As you say this, you're floating up in the air, you are telling all of the nobles, and they're all listening to you, and you hear murmurs among the crowds like,
oh, and I'll pull out the purple ribbon and
Mango,
wave it in the air.
orange.
Oh,
You got it.
the mango.
you put the purple ribbon away that you
Oops,
took
wrong
from someone
ribbon.
else, and you pull out the orange one. And as you pull out that ribbon, you hold it up, you see Zayson, who is still ducking away from the danger, she sees that ribbon, and you see her eyes just like light up with like hope and love and just like understanding that you have been sent by her friend Ernan Ryoshan to save the day.
We could all be special friends to each other, and I wink at the princess.
Perfect. So yeah, the nobles are starting to murmur like, was this a setup by Fire Lord Sozin? And in the midst of all this, you see Minister Zianda starting to back out of the room.
And then I look over. Today's the day.
Today's the day. And then we rush over to stop the minister as we see him fleeing. And in front of everyone, I want to call him out.
Yeah, we haven't talked about this yet because it is a move that you usually get with an advancement. However, it seems like the right time for you to use your moment of balance. This is a critical move that when your character reaches, a big character moment, you can use your moment of balance, which is on the back of your character sheet there, to take control of the scene. Whatever you want to happen here will happen.
Okay.
So you can knock down every wall in the world, but balance isn't found in conquest and destruction. You know some walls need to stand to keep people safe. Tell the GM how you put yourself directly in the path of an inescapable threat to completely protect something or someone from harm. So give us your moment of balance. What do you do here, Ezra? How do you bring down the minister?
So as the commotion's going on, Sister Nyanshi's up here pleading to everyone. There's murmurs going on. We see the minister kind of sneaking out. Me and Bowen lock eyes. I run, he earthbends me up, so I kind of flip over him, and I land right in front of Minister Zianda, just Spider-Man style, and I raise up. And as the crowd sees that, what's going on, they hush down and look at us, and I just proclaim in front of everyone as the whole crowd turns to us and explain to them, the Minister Zianda is the man behind this insurrection,
Ludicrous!
if you will, upon the event today. He has falsely accused air nomads of planning this plot, but here man stands before you. Not only has he started today, but he has a history of ill will towards the Fire Nation, or towards the rest of the nations. in the name of the Fire Nation, which she does not speak for all of those in the Fire Nation.
That's ludicrous. Where is your proof? And Tiger Monkey appears from nowhere and is like, yeah, Minister Zianda like hired me to like stop these people from like doing all this, so like I totally like confirmed. And Zianda's like, traitor! And he's like, whatever, dude.
And I say to Minister Zianda, I've been waiting my whole life for the day to come, and today is that day.
Today is that day.
So Minister Zianda, Zayson will stand up and be like, arrest the minister for his crimes against the Fire Nation. Soldiers come forth, they take away the fake air nomads, they take away Minister Zianda. Zayson says, nobles of the Fire Nation, we have seen today how important it is for us to band together, to stand up to corruption, and to build a better Fire Nation. Thank you for being here. There's snacks in the other room. And as people start going for the snacks and to discuss the things that have happened here, Zayson comes over to all of you and says, I know who sent you, and please, when you get a chance, tell her thank you.
I definitely will. And also, an old friend wanted to say hello.
And that's when she sees you, ZB, and says, ZB, it's been some time.
It's been a long time. I wanted to come here to find you and tell you, regardless of what's happened to us, I still have the pendant that you gave me, and I will never let it go.
She will just step forward and embrace you in a big hug. And
Through that chiffon dress, through that.
I tug it out from underneath all the chiffon and show you.
And she just gives you that big hug. And we have foiled the plots of Minister Zianda to frame the guiding wind. And thus we'll end our session today.
Oh,
Thank you all so much. That was amazing. Thank you all so much for joining us on this whirlwind adventure. Thank you to all of my players, Becca, Dante, Ify, Jennie. It was an honor and a pleasure to run stories for all of you. If you would like to play the Avatar Legends RPG, you can click the link in the description below to get your copy of the rules and go on some adventures yourself. Take care, all.
Bye.
Bye.